We're here at Task Lighting with Greg, and we're looking for UVP's unique value proposition.
Sure.
You're about to tell me about some unique product, but first I have a question just about the booth in general.
Okay.
This is like a conglomerate of different manufacturers that all came together, and you're like one company now, or you're just sharing the booth?
So Top Knobs and Hardware Resources were two companies that came together. And those two companies over the years have grown into multiple brands. All these products we manufacture and are direct to the designer, electrician, builder, remodeler, if you will, so that they have it's a great value proposition for them. So they're not paying extra markup from distributors. We basically, it's from manufacturing direct to them. So it makes it great from an added value standpoint of pricing within our market. So we're very competitive that way.
I see. So it's different brands, but it's really one company also.
Yeah, exactly. For example, Task Lighting was purchased by Hardware Resources, and then that was at the end of 2018. And then shortly thereafter, Gap Supply, which was my company, which is some of the products I'm going to talk to you about today, was also purchased. And we were merged together into one company under the Hardware Resources umbrella. So now we can then bring all these products out to our 25,000 plus dealers within the United States and Canada to be able to give them a full range of products to complete their entire project that they're working on.
And when you say dealers, it's because you have accounts directly with interior designers, architects, basically anyone who
works with the end consumer
can open an account. It's not that. Is there any advantage to like showrooms being a displaying dealer?
Sure, yeah, so when you have a showroom versus maybe like an electrician, there's going to be different pricing levels that they buy at. All of it's going to be at a great price, but obviously the volume is going to dictate.
So the showroom can sell to the electrician.
That's exactly right. So the electrician wants to buy direct, he can, but he can also buy it for around the same price at a showroom. So it makes it convenient for both without any conflict. Typically in the lighting industry, the number one lighting product is single color white light. And a lot of people select a color of that white light based on their project.
Right.
So warm white if you got maybe some wood tones or you're looking for a softer type of a light, and then maybe a more cool white for a more modern type of edgy look. But to be able to get a color tunable light, to be able to select any color temperature you want, you always have the downside of what's called warm to dim. And warm to dim is when you reduce, let's say, the warm white light to make the whiter light more prominent, then you're also reducing lumens, or it looks like you're dimming the lights.
I see.
So a lot of people don't like that, so they've steered clear of tunable lighting, and they'll just select one white color light that they like and just live with it. The problem is LEDs last a long time. If you remodel or you repaint, or you just want to change the color, you can't. You're stuck with that one light color you've put in for the life of that fixture, which is usually 20 to 30 years, unless you want to spend money to replace it. A new technology that we just released is called Tandem LED with wave technology. What it is you use the same two wires that you've always used in this industry forever, but now with the Tandem LED technology, we can color tune the lights to any color temperature. It doesn't matter if you want warm white or cool white, and you can do it in the moment.
You can even do colors, like red, green, yellow?
So we do have that ability also within this technology, but what I'm talking about right now is just the white lights part of it. So if you, let's say, if you're not familiar with circadian rhythm, when the sun comes up in the morning, it's very warm, then it gets brighter white throughout the day, and then as it goes down, it gets warm again.
Right.
This allows you to match that same type of circadian rhythm within your house, so that your eyes adjust better, you wake up better, you learn better. It helps you to fall asleep.
You can do it automatically, so it follows.
Yes, so you can do it where it follows the sun, set on a schedule or a scene, or you can manually do it with one of our lighting controls, which is a wireless control, mounts flat on the drywall, makes it very, very easy to be able to color tune your lights on the fly. But what's really cool about it is right out of the box, once it's installed, with just the two wires we talked about, you can voice control it through Alexa, Google, Apple HomeKit. You can control it with the app on your phone, and it works with the app you already have. You don't have to download an app from us. If you're using Alexa and your wife is using Apple and your kids are using something else, all of you can control it the way that you want to control it without needing to download any additional apps. So it works really cool that way. So makes it for a really nice, easy to install, color tunable product with smart control built in.
You heard of Ketra? Katera, they're a lighting manufacturer that was purchased by Lutron.
No.
That was kind of similar technology.
Yeah, and they're using a 3 to 5 wire system, like similar to Crestron.
Maybe,
yeah. So we have a patent pending on the 2-wire right now, and just waiting for them to actually issue us the paper currently.
Very cool.
So yeah.
So that's a very innovative product.
Yeah.
Obviously.
The other part of the system is because it's tunable 2-wire. If you already have just white lights installed, let's say you have under cabinet lights or some kind of white LED light in your house, and it's just standard, works on a switch, but you wanted to upgrade it to make it smart home controllable, we have the receivers work both ways. They both work with the color tunable and with white light, single color white light. So if you were to, let's say, insert this receiver into the installation you already have at home, it doesn't matter what the brand is, it's adaptable to all of them. At all the voltage ranges, you now can smart control those lights just by installing this within like 30 seconds.
So you install this and you make your regular white light
smart controllable.
You change the temperature?
Not change the color temperature, you'd have to actually change the tape out, but just makes them smart home controllable.
Oh, I see.
So you don't have to replace the lights or the driver, so you just insert this in line, and now it'll be learned by your smart home system. So it makes it really simple,
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
What else should we know about lighting and task lighting?
So task lighting, our main focus is on the quality of light. There's a lot of talk in the market about CRI or color rendering index, but there's ways to cheat the system with R values or the colors that are put into the quality of that light. So you may have an R value or a rendering that's really high in a lab, as you know, because a lab is a controlled environment. Our focus is to make the product high R value or high quality light in the space, which means we have to hold our lighting to a very high standard, even outside of the lab. So our average R values, or color rendering index, is going to be running around 92 to 94 CRI, which is an incredible quality of light for anyone who understands the R values. Also for longevity, there's a lot of tape light. A lot of people see tape lighting, like let's say on Amazon or eBay, and they say, well, it's only $13. Why is your product 50 or 100% more in cost? Part of that is because those lights are made, the PCB that they're mounted to is a very low copper content, maybe like let's say 1 or 2 ounces, where all of our products are made on a 4-ounce copper base, meaning it's very stiff. And high copper content means that we can dissipate the heat immediately, which gives you longevity within your light. But another cool feature is if you feel this here, and you feel like a rubbery texture, almost sort of feels like a rubberized finish on the top. That's a proprietary technology. It's a sprayed-on coating that we apply to all of our lighting, so it makes it waterproof.
Oh, wow.
So you can use this inside or outside, and it still maintains an IP65 rating. The adhesive also on the back, if you feel the adhesive, you press your thumb on it, you can feel how sticky it is. This is a similar adhesive that's used to put the emblems on your car. So you know they don't come off in the rain or in the snow or in a car wash. So your tape light or your whatever lighting that has our adhesive technology on it is going to peel and stick and be permanently affixed to that surface. So you don't have to worry about it falling down or coming off once you've installed it. So those features make it very versatile. So from a value proposition, if you're buying one product, you can use it inside or outside. You can use it in a bathroom or in a kitchen where it's going to get steam or water, on a deck outside if it's going to get rained on. It's one product that you can use everywhere.
So the wire makes it exterior wire, actually.
Yeah, correct, that's right.
So you're going very technical, which is great, but for most homeowners, I think to summarize it is just you're focusing on the quality of the product.
Quality of the product, and now with the new technology, the ability to tune that lighting in the space. Because as a designer, they are always asked, what color LED light do I pick? And you try to direct them to a color temperature that's going to best suit all their selections, but it's never perfect because it's going to fail in one aspect or another. It's going to miss the mark even by 100 or 200 Kelvin within that range. This simplifies that. You just pick the color you want in the space for the time of day, for the weather, for the conditions that you want as the consumer.
If you have a light that can adjust the temperature, usually the warmer temperature would mean that you're dimming it down.
That's correct.
And in your case, you don't have to dim it. You can change the temperature and keep the same.
Yeah, so an example would be is let's say you didn't want your lights at full brightness. You wanted them 50% less than you normally would, just to kind of have a nice soft light in the room.
Yeah.
But when you change the color temperature, if you reduce and made it warmer, it would even go less than the 50% you set it at. Our technology allows you to keep it at 50% because as you reduce the white light, it's driving power over and offsetting it with the warm white, keeping it the same brightness setting that you have set in that space.
That's great.
So yeah, very cool technology. It took us about 3 years to complete the research and development in order to bring it to market. So we can dim all the way to 0% within this product, and it's flicker free.
Does it maintain CRI across the range?
Yes. So our CRI, so as you know, LEDs degrade over time, and that comes from several things, but the main thing is heat. So number one, we solved that with a 4-ounce PCB. Now we've eliminated the heat. If you feel any of these lights, you'll feel that there's no heat on them whatsoever.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. So by eliminating the heat,
usually even though LED doesn't have it, you still feel some heat. Here you feel nothing.
There's nothing. No. And the reason for that is because we're dissipating the heat literally the second it's being generated, because they're all little heat engines essentially. We're dissipating the heat immediately. So there is no heat buildup, which is when you feel something that's warm, it's because the heat has saturated that surface. We're removing the heat immediately.
So and your technology is basically this tape here.
Yes, it makes the configuration to make, we can do tape, we can do puck lights, like you see up here, all with the tunable white light built into it. So we're working with other companies to be able to integrate that technology so that light fixtures in the future, the entire house can be color tuned across the entire area in the house, from one room to the next. You can.
So in terms of the actual functionality, what you can use these lights for, we're in the kitchen show. So this is obviously under cabinet light, inside cabinet lights, but these are basically recessed fixtures for any application, right?
Yeah, right. So you can use them in a shelf. We've had people use them in ceiling applications, for niches, for art lighting. You can use it in a tray ceiling in a room to give you accent or actual room lighting.
But this wouldn't be like a typical recessed light.
Not like your typical light, because these are all low voltage. So you're just running a tiny little wire just like this.
So it's more for cabinetry.
Yeah, our main focus here at the show here is for cabinet lighting, that's right. We also have a sheet light product that gives you the ability to backlight countertops, backsplashes, glass panels.
Anything translucent that comes from here?
You can see here. At a very low wattage as well. We have sheets as low as 4 watts per sheet, which is...
So you're buying an entire sheet and you're...
So the sheets here are 9 inches by 24. You can cut them to size to fit your space and reconnect them back together. So you can create custom shapes. Like if you have a sink, let's say a sink cutout, you can go around the sink cutout with it and still have even lighting for like an onyx countertop or backsplash.
But so if you're like backlighting a wall panel or a countertop, this would go behind the entire countertop?
Yes, that's right.
If you did like, I don't know, 8 feet, you would get 8 feet of this stuff?
Yeah, so we actually did the lighting for Sephora. So Sephora has ceiling fixtures, and they're 6 feet wide by 20 feet long. And it's with this exact product that you see right here.
So it follows the whole thing?
The whole entire panel is just one big giant light panel that's just interconnected. You just
sounds expensive though,
right? So your average cost is going to be roughly around $25 to $30 a square foot. As you know, a lot of the onyx countertops run close to $90 to $100 per square foot. So you're adding about 25% to the cost of the kitchen to backlight it, but the effect is pretty much priceless.
And you're talking about retail, 25 to 30?
Yeah, correct. That's right.
So I have to argue that it's more expensive because you're just talking about the cost of the product. The installation and the labor, the wiring probably add more to that.
Yes, and it's typically a high end type of a product.
Yeah, right.
Most consumers that are doing maybe 50 to 100,000 and under projects aren't spending the type of money for backlighting. Right?
Yeah.
So at Task Lighting, we have the patent on the angled power strip. So in typical kitchens for the longest time, you've always had to have an outlet and switches in your backsplash. So it's cut into your tile. The cover plates never match maybe your kitchen cabinet and countertop selections. because you're limited to what's available at the electrical supply house or hardware store. With angled power strip, you now have no more outlets or switches in your backsplash. It's all integrated into a patented angled fixture that now is placed up underneath your cabinet. And you'll see that you can have switches integrated in.
So this is patented because I think Hefele has something like
So
that.
there's another brand, Legrand, that has a modular system. So all the other systems in the market are modular, meaning you have to piece them together, and they are limited. You can't customize them in, like, let's say a 1/16 of an inch or 1/4 of an inch increments. We have standard size fixtures, but because we manufacture in the United States, these can be customized to any configuration. So if you needed this a specific length, and with specific outlet and switch locations, no matter where they are, you specify as a customer where you want them, and now we build it that way. And we have a very quick turnaround time. Within 7 days from the time that you approve your drawing to the time you receive your product, it's custom right at your doorstep.
Sounds amazing, but also sounds expensive to customize. Huh?
So it's a $30 fee to customize a fixture on top of whatever the fixture cost is. So it's not very expensive. The other nice thing is too is you have different finishes you can pick from. So we have white, black, gray, bronze, so that we can kind of make it disappear as much as possible in the installation. Another cool feature being that because you can customize receptacle placement, a lot of people in a kitchen, especially when you have an island, you place an outlet on the end because it's code. And the problem with that is it's cut into your beautiful cabinetry.
Correct.
With an angled power strip, you can actually bring that all the way up to the top underneath the countertop overhang, and because it has that angle, you can't see it looking down at it. But if you just bend down slightly, now the angle's exposed and you can plug in your phone or your USB cable.
You just need usually, there might be an overhang in the area where the stools are underneath, and then you don't
correct.
see it.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, so it makes it nice there. And then we do also have a smaller version. If you don't need the USB, or if you don't need, the TR or your switches in here, you can have just a version just with plugs. It's a little bit more compact version.
It's a nice solution.
This is our Simpria lighting. It's a pre-built fixture made in America. We assemble them custom made based on customer specifications, or we have standard sizes. What's nice about this fixture is it's the brightest LED light in the market. So this is just a 6-inch piece, a 6-inch fixture here, and you can see from very dim.
That is insanely bright.
Insanely bright for 6 inches of light. So what that allows us to do is to give you a no dot, because a lot of people are having adversity to seeing the LED dots.
Right, yeah.
So this is our no dot fixture, and it's very high brightness. Exactly. So there's other lighted closet rods on the market. A lot of them are imported from China.
Sorry.
The issue with that is they're usually oval shape, and they do the oval shape to give them a little more rigidity. But they're still limited on how much weight they can carry. So you're usually limited to about 3 to 4 feet at the most. And even at 4 feet, if you put too much weight of clothes in the middle, it'll start to really sag and pull free. If you feel this fixture is very solid. We can make it 8 feet long, and you can completely hang whatever you want on there. It'll support hundreds of pounds of weight across its entire span without having to worry about it ever bending.
You can exercise on it.
Yes, you can. I mean, it's so strong. So it just makes for a really nice...
So it comes with the rod, obviously, built into it.
Yep.
Do you know retail pricing? Of
I don't know the retail pricing on the closet rod. It's going to be based on length is going to be part of that. So the smaller any fixture is, it's always going to be slightly more expensive, and the longer you get, it reduces in cost per foot. Pretty drastically, So, but I would imagine that you're probably going to be somewhere around $12 per foot with all the components.
Wow.
So it's not terribly expensive.
I don't want to use the word cheap, but it is.
But it's affordable.
Yeah. That's 6 feet, $70.
Yeah, and it's not with the lighting, with the driver all built in. And this one's on a motion sensor. So a motion sensor can be placed anywhere in the room. So when you come in, it automatically comes on or automatically goes off, or it works with all of our wireless controls as well. So if you want to turn it on, adjust the brightness, you have the ability to do that also.
very important to have a lighted closet rod when you're waking up and it's still dark, not to wake up the wife.
Sure.
You walk in and it turns on. Yeah, yeah, very cool.